Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. 80 SPF sunblock wearer.
Mr. 80 SPF sunblock wearer.
There are 24 hours in a day. You're wearing 80-hour protection. If the sun fails to go down, you'll be ready.
Don't forget the moonlight.
Your coconut-scented force field blocks out all the sun's rays and any stray rays from another sun in another galaxy.
Your star.
30 SPF, please. You might as well be wearing cooking oil.
Something smells delicious.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, Mr. 80 SPF sunblock wearer. In fact, feel free to crack one open at high noon in the middle of the Sahara Desert.
Mr. 80 SPF sunblock wearer.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Cartersville, Georgia. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. After Halloween costume shop salesman.
Mr. After Halloween costume shop salesman.
For 2 weeks every October, you're the most popular man in town. The rest of the year, the loneliest man in town.
I could use a buddy.
You've had the same costume since 1973, which is also the last time you had them washed.
Something smells like cabbage.
What's your scariest costume? The ballerina outfit just returned by the 400-pound truck driver.
Super duper tutu.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh king of the costume, because dealing with you will always be our treat.
Mr. After Halloween costume shop salesman.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Airline Meal Chef.
Mr. Airline Meal Chef.
Nothing relaxes a diner like a pleasant discussion of safety procedures should the restaurant suddenly fall out of the sky.
Oh no!
Chicken or beef? Chicken or beef? Chicken, we're out. Here's the beef.
Still tastes like chicken.
Who ordered the heart-healthy meal? Probably not the guy who ordered the seatbelt extender.
Excess baggage.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh Sultan of the Salisbury. Even though we're crammed in coach, our meals are first class.
Mr. Airline Meal Chef.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Airport Baggage Handler.
Mr. Airport Baggage Handler.
Why just set a bag down when you can throw it, kick it, or simply ignore it?
It's time for my lunch break.
SFO, ORD, LAX. The complex airport codes are almost unsolvable. But that's okay, because thanks to you, everything's going to Tulsa.
That's in Oklahoma.
When comforting a traveler about a lost bag or a treasured family pet, you need only remember 3 simple words. Airline not responsible.
Thank you for flying.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh king of the carousel. You give us all a reason to carry on.
Mr. Airport Baggage Handler.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
You've given us the real American dream. A tray, 15 feet of food, and a little sign that says, "Go nuts, buddy."
Oh, pinch me, I'm dreaming.
Pushing side dish innovation to its limits, you offer creamed everything and 400 flavors of gelatin.
Feeding frenzy.
If there's beef, you'll chip it. If there's chicken, you'll fry it. And if there's gravy, well then everything's going to be okay.
Oh, thank God for the gravy.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, buffet boy. You know the way to a man's heart and a few hundred tasty ways to challenge it.
Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Fort Collins, Colorado. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Athletic Groin Protector Inventor.
Mr. Athletic Groin Protector Inventor.
People love to play sports, but they don't love it when they get hit in the twig and berries.
Oh!
For years, cringing fans watched as man after man went down. But then you came along and said, "Here, stick this in your pants."
Nice to meet you.
The errant headbutt, the inside fastball, the wayward high five, all no match for your crash helmet.
I'll bring it on.
Sure, some athletes shun them, but don't worry, they'll come around.
Show us the way.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light protector of the package and know that we're just nuts about you.
We're just nuts.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Fort Collins, Colorado. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
This 4th of July, we salute you, Mr. Backyard Bug Zapper Inventor.
Mr. Backyard Bug Zapper Inventor.
Not content to harmlessly repel insects with lotion, you discovered a way to fry them with electricity until their bodies explode.
Zap-kaboom.
Ah, the sounds of summer. Crickets chirping, birds singing, the blood-curdling scream of a moth having 700 volts of electricity shoot through its body.
Music to my ears.
Every night, a magical explosion of exoskeleton and insect goo that can only mean one thing. Summer's here.
Die, bugs, die.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, Mr. June Bug Blaster, then sit back and watch the fireworks.
Mr. Backyard Bug Zapper Inventor.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Cartersville, Georgia. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Baseball Designated Hitter.
Mr. Baseball Designated Hitter.
Baseball's an intricate game of skill, strategy, and athleticism. Except for you. You just womp the ball.
Want that ball now.
Our question, what's it like to be a professional baseball player who doesn't even need to own a baseball glove?
You're a star.
Still, we'd rather see you at the plate than some pitcher with a career batting average of .001.
Couldn't hit a beach ball.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, sir, on the bench a lot, because fielding, throwing, and running are overrated anyway.
Mr. Baseball Designated Hitter.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Basketball Court Sweat Wiper-Upper.
Mr. Basketball Court Sweat Wiper-Upper.
You'll do anything for courtside seats, even if it means mopping another man's sweat off the floor.
Smelly man sweat.
Superstars may fall, but superstars don't wipe up sweat after they fall. You do that.
Oh.
While they soak up the glory, you soak up pretty much everything else.
Super absorbent.
Their shoes aren't squeaking till your towels are reeking. So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh Prince of Perspiration, because we know a champion when we smell one.
Mr. Basketball Court Sweat Wiper-Upper.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.